Okay, welcome to Hearthstone for Noobs, guys. We are having our first tournament for noobs tonight, and first round is A0486 versus Little Alex. Tonight's theme is basic decks, so they're not allowed to use any cards that actually have a jewel on it, so you can only use the cards that come free with the game when you actually start playing the game. And we're going to see who's capable of making, or at least using their decks most effectively from the basic set. And this is a good way to start, because it means that we're all on a level playing field. So we see Azer's playing the Hunter and Alex is playing the Paladin. He's going to coin out Animal Companion. I think he's hoping for Misha here in most spots. And instead he gets Leox, so he gets the double buff. I think Alex is probably going to play the Grizzly here, and I would probably kill the Wolf. And there you go. Tracking. Now there's a card we haven't seen in a long time. Since Athene's version of Face Hunter back in like November, that card was actually getting some play, but you really don't see tracking at all these days. Puts the Hunter's Mark out. And plays a Raptor. And I've got people chatting in the stream here, and I got one of our players saying, "Don't mention Athene." I mean, he was funny. I mean, he's kind of an ass in some ways, I suppose, but that's the whole personality. You know what I mean? And he obviously did very well with that personality. So, more power to him. Okay, well that's a pretty good draw. We'll see how he wants to play this. Alright, get nice and fully healed up. Make a dude. That's one of the great things about the Paladin's hero power is that you just constantly are making bodies. And the Shaman has a similar hero power, but it mostly makes 0-2 bodies, and you almost don't want the 1-1 very often when you're playing Shaman because your other totems are going to do so much for you. But being the Paladin, you actually have a lot of options amongst the different spells and cards you have. Like here we see Blessing of Might, so now the little 1-1 dude, gets to kill a 5-4. Make another dude, keep pushing, and you've always got someone on your board that can do something as the Paladin, it seems like. So that is a real nice hero ability to have. And if you just started playing the game, Paladin is definitely a good solid option. Hunter is more like the aggressive option, and if you're the kind of player, see, when I first started playing, I was like more into the control idea of playing the game. I'd never played Magic before. I didn't understand really the difference between aggressive decks and control decks and whatnot. But now at this point, when you see the way people want to play things, there are some aggressive Paladin decks out there, but it seems to do quite well at stretching games. And the longer the game goes for a Paladin, the more it tends to be in his favor. Whereas when you play with a Hunter, you want to apply maximum pressure. In most cases, even the mid-range Hunter, which is quite popular on the ladder right now, happens to be still fairly aggressive, and you're constantly piling, like you're using the Houndmaster on the Savannah Highmane, and you're just putting so much pressure on the board, So, okay, that was a nice little play there, using the humility on the big boar. So yeah, if you're like a control type player, you're probably going to lean to Paladin, and if you're like an aggressive type player, you're probably going to lean to something like a Hunter, especially with that hero power where you can just smack him in the face for 2 damage every single turn. Well, that just happened. Blessing that Stormwind champion and getting him up to really big. I mean, we're going to need to see an answer from Azer here, and he plays the multi-shot. That's got to hurt a little bit. But it was still nice to be able to clear the War Golem, I think, for little Alex there. That was a bit of a victory. He also happens to have cards in his hand right now, so but he is lower on health. That draw is not really going to help him. He gets to put another body on the board. And I think he's passing his turn there, and he's going to see what comes out of the Hunter deck. Now, does Azer want to just dump his hand here? Or is he going to keep something in reserve? Looks like he's going to keep something in reserve. Oh, what a pull. What a pull for Alex. Well, that's just going straight on the board, shoring up his health. I think the play here is Dude. And he's going for Dude. And then we pass the turn. See, that's a very good play. Some of these players coming in were speculating that perhaps they weren't going to be doing the, quite so well. And I think that we're just seeing that everybody, who knows the game and is getting familiar with the game. It's pretty easy to get familiar with. And yeah, we all make mistakes here and there. But at the same time, there are some things that you just tend to figure out. And sometimes in Hearthstone, you don't want to attack. You just want to wait for the next turn and work it out after that. Okay, well, this is a huge spot for Alex. He's actually going to be able to push through here pretty much this entire wall. So, and there's that as well. And that is a pretty big swing. The Hunter's done some damage to him, but oh shit! Look at this. This is one of those big Paladin combos, and I don't know if the Hunter has any answers for this. That's not it. I think we can say the Hunter definitely had a few unlucky draws here coming into the end of the game. I'm not sure what else is in his deck, but running out of steel, wow, that just pretty much seals it up. And I think we're probably going to see a concede here. He could get a Hunter's Mark, I suppose, but yeah, he can't heal up. So there you go. First game to little Alex. And no BM whatsoever, he just goes straight in for the big kill shot. Okay, that's game one of match one. So now Alex is going to load up his other deck, and we'll see if Azer wants to stick with Hunter, or if he's going to try his other deck and see if he gets a little bit more success out of that one. Alex, I think you might have canceled the challenge. Alright, looks like they've got it going again, and we'll be moving in. Get some more action here. This is my first time doing this, guys, so if you're watching this video and thinking, well, this guy's a little lame, he doesn't know how to fill dead time or whatever, well, give me a chance, I'll get better at it, And, okay, actually, I've already got your cards too, Azer, so we're good. And here we go. So now Alex has retired the Paladin, and he's going to go with the Mage. And Azer is going to try with the Hunter again. And it looks like he actually might have a better starting draw on this one.
Hello.
Greetings, traveler.
And there's the ooze, and that's a pretty good 2-drop in this spot. We'll see if Alex wants to respond right away, or if he's going to work on building his own board. Alright, so that'll definitely stop the ooze. That is true. Okay, Alex, I don't know if you're listening, but you cannot play one of those cards in your hand. So there you go. He says sorry he won't use it. This is my own fault for not thoroughly checking the deck enough at the when I was looking over them. So I apologize about that, guys. Probably 28. He's saying. Okay, so yeah, we actually have a dead card in the hand, which is fine. It's fair enough. This is all about, you know, having a little fun, getting together, and trying to do these things the right way. So it's no big deal right now, provided he does not try and use the card. Next time I will be better prepared. And in the meantime, after this match is over, I think we're going to need to see him change that card out. And because he made the mistake of putting it in there against the rules, I'm going to tell him the cards he must use in place of it. Because the penalty for not building the deck correctly will always be replace it with cards we have in reserve. And now the hunter is properly pouring on damage. No, the penalty is not death. But we are going to kill that card before his next match. I think the penalty is going to be a novice engineer ×2. It's not the worst card in the world, but it's really not going to help your deck a huge amount. It does have the card draw option though, so even though you're being punished, you're not being thoroughly punished. Excellent. There you go. I'm sure that we are all going to be perfectly in line as we move along tonight. Yeah, no, I agree. That's fine. That's great. It's amazing that you're here with us. I feel like I'm being watched now, but I appreciate you coming along to play. So, I mean, I feel like he's in terrible shape here, but why didn't we see... What's going on? Are we waiting for our turn? Is something stopped? I think he just hasn't pressed end turn yet. He's pretty happy about his board, so he's probably just... there we go. Okay, so if he plays this the right way, he should be able to clear the board. Yes, yes. And, oh, no. Okay. Unlucky with those missiles. But that's why I always call them, you know, the gay missiles, because they just don't fly the right way when you want them to. Okay, well, we managed to get rid of that pretty quickly.
Ready for action.
Well, the Hunter's applying plenty of pressure. It's going to be pretty difficult because Alex actually has to kill him pretty much within the next 2 attacks. I think he definitely, yeah, he needs to just ping that and go face here. I don't know if he's going to have enough in the tank. Don't know. That's a huge draw right now for Azer. He puts up the big taunt himself, and I think that pretty much ends it. I think we're going to see a victory from the Hunter here. He's drawing. What's he drawing for? Has he got another fireball? He's going to definitely have to ping this off. And then he gets to do 8 damage. Wow. So it looks like he's actually going to be able to win. Oh my god, what a sick top deck. And that will limit the damage that Alex can do this next turn, and means the Hunter's actually going to win. I don't think Alex has a Dark Scale Healer in his deck. No Dark Scale Healer at least coming out right here. So I think that'll do it. Unlucky. But well played to the Hunter to just stay on top of it and just wear him down. Very close game.
Well played.
Alright, so that's 1 game each. So now we know we're going to see Mage for sure from Alex. And what are we going to see from Azer? That's the question. Well, we haven't seen his other deck yet. I think maybe that's why he played Hunter again. Try and get that win under his belt and be able to surprise Alex in the final game with the deck we haven't seen. Oh, and we're being visited by our resident kitty cat. She's come to say hi. She's just woken up from a nap. I think you have to play this round now with it in your deck and not use it. Because it was in there, it was my fault for not seeing it, but definitely because it's an illegal card, it should be a penalty for you through the match to where you actually cannot use one of the cards in your deck. Schrodinger's kitty, well, then we're always, I think, going to have to speculate every day. Is it alive or is it not alive? I mean, if you can't see it, then you'll never know. It could be a stuffed taxidermied cat, and I could be sitting here chewing on cat food right now, making that noise. Alright, so it's going to be Mage versus Mage. So this is actually going to be pretty fun, because where they're both using the basic set, we'll see where the differences in cards might make differences in the game. Azer looks like he's probably going to be playing a slightly more aggressive deck, but I'm not entirely sure yet. So he's going to coin out the missiles, play the Goldshire Footman, and they both use missiles on turn 1. I can't see doing that. Why don't you save the missiles till you get to play something like Kobold and get extra missiles? Come on, guys. I think they just want an aggro match here where they just come out and pound each other as quickly as possible. Okay, so play the Frostwolf and just attack face there. This is a great spot if he sees it. Yeah, he sees it. So there you go. That is the beauty of Kobold Geomancer drawing into Arcane Explosion. I always loved that combo. When I first started playing, that was exactly what I was like. I saw Arcane Explosion, I saw spell damage +1, and I said, hey, if I can get spell damage +1 on it, I can kill some small stuff. And if I get spell damage +2 on it, I can ruin people's days. And if I can get spell damage +3 on it, I can do a Flame Strike for 2 mana and still have a board. So yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite plays with the basic mage cards. Why are you getting nervous? We got one of our guys in the tournament watching saying this is making me nervous. I'm wondering if he's rethinking his decks as he watches. There's that dead card, so we will not see this card played by little Alex in this round, and we will not see it in his deck afterwards. He's actually going to have a Novice Engineer to replace that. Actually, that's quite funny that even though secrets are a big part of the game, the mage doesn't have any basic secrets. I'm pretty sure that the hunter and the paladin don't either. Secrets are like an extra thing.
Well played.
But they are also very fun, and I've built secret mages before. I've tried with some secret paladins, and you know, they're not the most consistent decks, but they certainly do make it interesting games, and you can have a lot of fun playing with them. That's why I love this game, because there really is so much variation and so much opportunity to really, you know, play with so many different ideas that you never feel like pigeonholed into one thing. And that's why starting with the basics and starting with a basic tournament, it's kind of funny because I've pigeonholed these players into only being able to use the cards that are available to them. But there are a lot of cards that come with the basic set in Hearthstone. You really do get a lot for free from this game, and that's the whole point, is that you can have a lot of fun and still do a lot of damage with these basic sets. So the fact that I think we're seeing some pretty good games, especially that last one that came right down to the wire, you know, getting that multi-shot top deck was huge for Zero. And here now he's going to Flame Strike the Stormwind Champion. And it looks like he's going to draw. Now he's going to save it.
The gates are open.
Okay, it's a nice little turn for Alex there. I think Azer has to find a reply. I don't think he can afford to not try and find a reply here. Let's see if he digs into his deck. He's going to ping off the Senji. And he's going to drop the Archmage to challenge the Lord of the Arena.
Well played.
Now, as we can see, Alex is going to go ahead and draw here and dig into his deck, and he's actually pulled a pretty nice card out of it. He's going to play Senji here. And is he going to clear the Archmage? It looks like he's going to clear the Archmage. And I think that in that spot, I mean, he could be afraid of Polymorph or Fireball, but in that spot he could have actually gone face and forced the other mage, forced Azer to do the clearing himself. Although perhaps, you know, he thinks, well, he's got Polymorph, he's going to have a big creature still on the board. So, you know, it works both ways. But I think I would have preferred the aggressive line there, especially when you got like a few different options that you're hanging on to. And there's one of them. Gets rid of Lord of the Arena with Polymorph and keeps pushing through. but we see Stormwind Knight. Alright, what's Alex going to do now? He's going to get those mirror images out. I think he's going to go face with his fireball. Yep. And he's really pouring on the damage now. I think he sees it's within reach. It really depends on what Azer can pull out of his deck. Senji will definitely help, but I don't know if it's going to be the answer he's looking for. I think there's a big possibility that we're going to see a pretty big flame strike from Alex here on the next turn. And because of that Kobold Geomancer, it's even going to kill Senji. And that's going to be nice. Boom. Down goes the board. That spell damage +1 is so valuable when you're using the basic cards.
Well played.
So it does appear that Alex doesn't actually have lethal right here, but it's so close, and I just don't think there's any healing besides Voodoo Doctor that you can use, which isn't really going to be enough now. So obviously he's just going to go face here. And no, it looks like he's going to ping off the board. I think he wants to make sure that all of those taunts stay up and almost make sure he can guarantee the win on the next turn. This is such a big card. If only he had the spell damage +1, that would just have done way more work. But
Well
he's going to fight it out. Fight it out. He can get rid of... No, he can't. He can't get rid of anything. He's going to polymorph that. Okay, so there you go. He gets rid of everything and sits with the board presence, but he's going to have to find a way now to win next. Oh, well, there you go. It's over. That fireball.
Well played.
And that'll do it. Little Alex wins the first match in the first round of the first ever Tournaments for Noobs. And there you go. Well done, Alex, and we'll see you a little bit further down the road.